Good morning, my dear students. Today we are going to discussing about mining objects and spatial mining. So in fifth unit, second part, we have the following topics: this mining objects, spatial mining, multimedia mining, text mining, and web data mining. So before going to discussing about mining objects and spatial mining, see first of all we are observing. See the data are stored in various complex forms such as structured or unstructured formatted, అలాగే hypertext and multimedia. Okay, thus mining complex types of data including object data, spatial data, multimedia data, text data, and web data has become an increasingly important task in data mining. Okay, so anyway, first of all we are going to discussing about mining objects. Later we are discussing about spatial mining. So first of all, uh, data objects means multi-dimensional analysis and descriptive mining of complex data objects. Okay, complex structured data objects organize a large set of complex data objects into classes, which are in turn organized into classes, subclasses, hierarchies. Each object in a class is associated with an object identifier, a set of attributes that may contain sophisticated data structures, set or list value data, class composition hierarchies, multimedia data, and set of methods that specify the computational routines or rules associated with the object class. Beyond of storage and accessing complex objects data, consider two major tasks. First one is construct multi-dimensional data warehouse for complex data object and perform OLAP in such data warehouses. Develop effective and scalable methods for mining knowledge from objects databases under data warehouse. Second task is largely covered by mining of specific kinds of data. Next, generalization of structured data. Generalization is used to facilitate how each component of object relational and object-oriented databases can be generalized. Generalization is performed on data such as a set value attribute. Second one is list valued attributes and sequence valued attributes. Third one is complex structured value attributes. First of all, we are going to discussing about set valued attribute. It may be homogeneous or heterogeneous type. Means it will store means set value attribute consisting of homogeneous data or heterogeneous data. Already you people very familiar what is the meaning of homogeneous and heterogeneous. Homogeneous in the sense similar type and heterogeneous in the sense different type, data types. Okay, set value data can be generalized by generalization of each value in the set to its corresponding higher level concept or derivation of the general behavior of the set. For example, suppose person hobbies taken as set valued attributes of values as tennis, hockey, soccer, violin, SimCity. So generalization with concept, sports, music, computer games. Let the count by generalization as sports 3, music 1, computer games 1, where sports 3 indicates 3 kinds of sports and so on. Okay, this is the example. See, this is the set value attribute. In this particular set value attribute, this mainly generalization with the set value attributes are mainly categorized 3 things. One is sports, music, computer games. So tennis, hockey, soccer games means sports related. Violin is related to music. SimCity is a game. Okay, next, second one is list valued attributes and sequence valued attributes. It can be generalized in a manner similar to that for set valued attributes, except that the order of the elements in the list or sequence should be preserved in the generalization. Example, please consider the list or sequence of data for a person education record, BSc in electronical engineering, UBC December 1998, MSc in computer engineering, University Maryland, May 2001, PhD in computer science, UCLA, August 2005. And this can be generalized by dropping less important description attributes of each tuple in the list, such as month, okay. Next, third one is complex structure value attributes. It may contain sets, tuples, lists, trees, records, and their combinations, where one structure may be nested in another to any level. Structured value attribute can be generalized in several ways, such as generalizing each attribute in the structure while maintaining the shape of structure, flattering the structure and generalizing the flattered structure, summarizing the low-level structures by high-level concepts or aggregation, and returning the type or an overview of the structure. Yes, next one is second point, main aggregation and approximation in spatial and multimedia data generalization. Aggregation and approximation are useful for generalizing the attributes with large sets of values, complex structures, spatial or multimedia data. First, spatial data. Generalized detail geographic points into clustered regions such as business, residential, industrial, or agricultural area require merge by using spatial operations such as spatial union, spatial clustering methods. Spatial merge is not only merge the region of similar type within general class, but also compute total areas, average density, or other aggregate function while ignoring some scattered region with the different types. Example, suppose different pieces of land used for various purpose as agriculture uses, such as planting of vegetables, grains, and fruits. These pieces can be merged or aggregated into one larger piece by spatial merge. Suppose within this land, if there are highways, houses, and small stores, but if majority land is covered for agriculture, then we ignore scattered region and claim as agriculture area. There are other spatial operation as spatial union, spatial overlapping, spatial intersection, can also use aggregation and approximation. Next, multimedia database. It may contain complex text, graphics, images, video fragments, maps, voice, music, and other forms of audio-video information. So generalization on multimedia data can be performed by recognition and extraction of the essential features under general patterns of such data. For image, the size, color, shape, texture, orientation, and relative positions and structure of the contained objects or regions in the image can be extracted by aggregation and or approximation. For music, its melody can be summarized based on the approximate patterns that repeatedly occur in the segment, while its style can be summarized based on its tone, tempo, or other major musical instruments played. Okay, for article, its abstract or general organizational structure. Example, the table of contents, the subject and index terms that frequently occurs in the article may serve as its generalization. Okay. Next one is third one, generalization of object identifiers and class or subclass hierarchies. An object identifier can be generalized as follows. The object identifier is generalized to the identifier of the lowest subclass to which the object belongs. The identifier of subclass can then in turn be generalized to higher level class identify climbing up the class or subclass hierarchy. Similarly, a class or a subclass can be generalized to its corresponding subclass by climbing up its associated class or subclass hierarchy. Some object-oriented database systems allow multiple inheritance where properties can be inherited from more than one superclass, where the class or subclass hierarchy is organized in the shape of a lattice. Methods are an important component of object-oriented database, so generalization can be performed on the data derived by application of the method. Next, generalization of class composition hierarchies. An attribute of an object may be composed of or described by another object, some of whose attributes may be in turn composed of or described by other objects, thus forming a class composition hierarchy. Generalization on class composition hierarchy can be viewed as generalization on set nested structure data. Example, an attribute vehicles owned of an object class student could refer to another object class car, which may contain an attribute auto dealer, which may refer to attributes describing the dealer's manager and children. Next, construction and mining of object cubes. Generalization based data mining process can be viewed as application of sequence of class-based generalization operators on different attributes. For efficient implementation, the generalization of multi-dimensional attributes of a complex object class can be performed by examining each attribute in the sense dimension, means generalizing each attribute to simple value data and constructing multi-dimensional data cube called an object cube. Next one is generalization based mining of planned database by divide and conquer. So divide and conquer is used to find patterns at different levels of abstraction. A plan consists of a variable sequence of actions. A plan database or simply a plan base is a large collection of plans. Plan mining is the task of mining significant patterns or knowledge from a plan base. Example, consider a database of travel plans as travel plan base and airport information table as follows. This database travel plans means travel database. This is the travel database. This is the travel database. Next, this is an airport information table. So the multi-dimensional view of database is as follows. For the above databases, travel database, the following is the multi-dimensional view. This is the city, state, region. This is the location. This is the airport size. This is the airline. Here we have three multi-dimensional view. Means here we have three objects. Means one is location object. Means location dimension, airline dimension, airport size. So city, state, region, company, partnerships. Next, passengers category, right? Next, multi-dimensional database model can be used to facilitate such plan generalization. Since low-level information may never share enough uh, commonality to form succinct plan. So consider the following. Generalize the plan base in different direction using the multidimensional model. Observe when the generalized plans share common interesting sequential patterns with substantial support and derive high level concise plans. Example, plan base by combining tuples with the sample in same plan number. The sequence of actions may appear as follows. This is the sequence. Multidimensional generalization of plan base is follows, where L is large airport and S is small regional airports. Okay, all of you observe this particular data in the tables. Is merging consecutive identical actions in plans are as follows. After merging this particular thing, this is the merging thing. So the generalization of large number of air travel plans may lead to some other, means some rather general but highly regular pattern. This is often the case of if the merge and optional operators are applied to the generalizer sequence. Notation plus to refer represent a sequence of actions of the same type. Notation indicate that the object or action inside optional. By merging and collapsing similar actions, we can derive generalized sequential patterns such as pattern S hyphen L plus within the brackets S. Means the pattern states that 98.5% of travel plans have the pattern S hyphen L plus S, where S indicates the action, S is optional, L plus indicates one or more repetitions of L. Okay, this is a flight x comma y intersection airport size of x comma s intersection airport size of y comma L implies region of x equal to region of y. This is 75%, which means that for a direct flight from small airport x to large airport y, there is a 75% probability that x and y belongs to the same region. This is object mining. Next continuation, we are going to discussing about spatial data mining. So what is spatial data mining? So spatial data mining refer to the extraction of knowledge, spatial relationships or other interesting patterns not explicitly stored in spatial databases. So spatial data is used in many applications as geographic information systems, geo-marketing, remote sensing, image database exploration, medical imaging, navigation, traffic control, environmental studies, and many other areas. Spatial data cube construction and spatial OLAP. A spatial data warehouse is a subject-oriented, integrated, time-variant, and non-volatile collection of both spatial and non-spatial data in support of spatial data mining. And spatial data related to online analytical processing in spatial data warehouses. There are three types of dimension in spatial data cube. Those are in the following manner. First one is non-spatial data are spatial, but whose generalization start starting at a certain high level becomes non-spatial. Example, city relays geographic data for US map. Suppose Pacific Northwest is spatial concept, then it plays role of non-spatial dimension. As with regions covering 0 pointers to spatial measure. Example, pointers to all region with one measure could be the monthly revenue of region. So in BC daily, region, time, temperature and precipitation, whereas measurements as area and count. Generalized regions after, so means spatial data. Spatial data warehouse consists of dimensions as region, time, temperature and precipitation, whereas measurements as area and count. Generalized regions after different roll-up operations is follows. After applying the roll-up on those things, there are three possible choices in regard to the computation of spatial measure in spatial data cube construction as follows. Collect and store corresponding spatial object pointers, but do not perform pre-computation of spatial measures in the spatial data cube. Pre-compute and store a rough approximation of the spatial measures in the spatial data cube. Selectively pre-compute some spatial measures in the spatial data cube. Mining spatial association and a collocation pattern. A spatial association rule is of the form A implies B, where A and B are sets of spatial or non-spatial predicates. S percentage is support of the rule. C percentage means percentage C is confidence of the rule. A spatial association rule is a X school intersection close to X sports center implies close to X park. So means support is 0.5%, 85% is the confidence. Means this rule states that 80% of the schools that are close to sports center are also close to parks, and 0.5% of data belongs to such a case. Various kinds of spatial predicates can be constitute a spatial association rule. Distance information such as close to and far away, topological relations like intersect, overlap and joint, spatial orientations like left off and west off. Minimize mining optimization method called progressive refinement can be adopted in spatial association analysis. Identify groups of particular features that appear frequently close to each other in a geospatial map. Such a problem is essentially the problems of mining spatial co-location. Third one is spatial clustering methods. Spatial data clustering identifies clusters or densely populated regions according to some distance measurement in a large or multidimensional data set. Next, spatial classification and spatial trend analysis. Spatial classification analyzes spatial object to derive classification schemas in relevance to certain spatial properties such as neighborhood of district, highway, or river. Spatial trend analysis deals with another issue as detection of changes and trends along a spatial dimension. Mining raster databases. Huge amount of space related data are in digital raster, means image formats, such as satellite images, remote sensing data, and computer tomography. It is important to explore data mining in raster or image databases. Yes, thank you guys. This is the today's class discussion. Today we are discussing about object mining and spatial mining. Okay, examination point of view, how they are asking the question, explain object mining or explain spatial mining. Okay, thank you.